For the first time, Belize has been selected to host a symposium sponsored by the International AIDS Society on uniting science and community for an accelerated HIV response in Belize. Chairperson for the National AIDS Commission, Dolores Balderramos Garcia, explained how significant this event is in making progress towards educating the wider public on HIV and AIDS in Belize.
Today we have over 150 to 160 participants to this large AIDS symposium from the International AIDS Society sponsorship, and we have persons here from a broad spectrum of society. We have doctors, nurses, and healthcare providers. We have all kinds of stakeholders in the HIV community. I want to highlight members from the LGBTQI community who have a special stake in the discussions today. And we're very pleased to have with us Dr. Omar Sued from the IAS, the International AIDS Society, Dr. Ram Gopal from Guyana, who is also a technical consultant, and we have our own Belizean input in the persons of Dr. Joshua Canole, Dr. Marvin Manzanero, many of the doctors. And so we at the National AIDS Commission Secretariat are very thrilled that we could have collaborated with the IAS to have this symposium today. And tomorrow will be a smaller workshop for maybe more getting down into the nitty-gritty of what can be done to scale up our HIV response. As you know, we are still very much challenged where HIV is concerned. We have made some progress, but that progress has been a bit slow.
Only 80% of Belizeans living with HIV know their status, and only about half use the available antiretroviral medications. Often, this is because people are not comfortable with discussing the facts on AIDS and are stigmatized by an HIV status. Dr. Omar Sued further explains.
HIV was linked to different sexual behaviors, and so this approach in focusing only in the way of transmission has made the HIV much more stigmatized and people discriminated for that. So the approach should be more neutral. I mean, everybody has right to know what is the HIV status, so everybody should have access to the HIV test. Doesn't need to be one specific person or one specific sexual preference. So in order to really respect the other people and in order to provide an attention that should be focusing the health and knowing the reason why the people can or cannot be exposed to this HIV.
And availability of treatment in Belize has significantly advanced over the years. But still, experts find that the most vulnerable populations are not getting access to these resources due to outreach.
I did a presentation which showed that we do have the resources. The government of Belize provides approximately 80% of the HIV resource and budget for the country of Belize. However, we find that even though we have the resources, the uptake is not as good as we would expect it. People adherence are not as good as we would like it to be. And so, well, this is an important activity for us to inform the community, everyone involved in the HIV response. Those would include, persons that work with the NAC-CCM, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Economic Transformation, religious leaders, about the present situation in Belize and what it would take for us to accelerate this HIV response within Belize. We always say that knowing your status is the first step to self-empowerment, and that would mean that get more people tested. Testing facilities exist across the country of Belize. There's testing facilities at all health regions within the country. So all government facilities provide HIV testing free of cost. There's also testing, people that work with testing like Go Hoven Belize, which is a partner in this event. There's BFLA. There is also the NAC can provide you with testing, and these testing varies. So we would say the test could be a single HIV test, or you could get a combo test, which is HIV and syphilis test. So you get two things with one fingerprint. And we could send you home with a HIV self-test for your partner if your partner does not want to come and get tested. Just so that both of you guys know your status. And once you know your status, you can make informed decision of how to stay HIV negative or how to start treatment and live a long, healthy life.
Events like this symposium and tomorrow's workshop are where the experts and awareness advocates table suggestions to improve HIV care and better utilize resources.
Our goal is to link the science to the community-based response so that we can really accelerate our response to HIV. The goal is by 2030, HIV wouldn't be the public health threat that it is now. But knowing that because of the concentrated epidemic that we have to reach out to the vulnerable community of men who have sex with men and also men and their sexual partners, because as we know, men who have sex with men, many of them also have sex with women. And so we have to be frank and honest about our target groups, but we also have to make sure that all the tools in the toolkit are used, whether it is HIV self-testing, whether it is the PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, or the post-exposure prophylaxis. We do have many tools in the toolkit. And as Dr. Ram Gopal just mentioned to us in the seminar this morning, Belize has the tools. Now we have to have the effort and the political will across the spectrum to make sure that we are more successful in our fight against HIV.
Jomari Lanza, 7 News.